is the day that the Lord and we are making. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome to the Unity Center of New York City's live stream service.
Broadcasting live from the heart of New York City, featuring new musical guests every week, with a message and meditation from Reverend Justin Epstein, your weekly destination for a wholesome message and meditation. Welcome to the Unity Center of New York City.
If you've ever felt the guilt or felt the shame, if you've ever wondered why you felt the pain, I can tell you how to finally let it out. And it works if you can just let go the doubt. It's a now you know type of story, so I won't tell you things to make it right, 'cause you'll be just fine and you'll be alright. Let this go by if you just align right now, right now, align right now. It's the fear that makes you think that something's wrong, but it's not why you have come to sing alone. What do I give? What do I say when my fears come and love still stays to let me know there's always nothing wrong? What can I do to feel the truth? I'll tell you all you need to hear. Oh, when fear comes calling and you are falling, you won't fall from the love that's always here, 'cause you'll be just fine and you'll be alright. Let this go by if you just align right now, right now, align right now. And there's more to life than this. You have come to feel the bliss. There's nothing to figure out. And when problems reappear, you can find the answers here and feel what it's all about. You'll be alright. Let this go by if you just align right now, right now, align right now. And oh, simple mistakes, and I am still the same, yeah, yeah, yeah. And all my fears are made simple mistakes, and I am still the same, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you, John Stringer. Great to have him back with us this week on our live stream service. Welcome, everyone. I'm Justin Epstein, the senior minister and author of the top-selling book, Super You. We're glad you are joining us this morning. It's a wonderful day. And along with John Stringer, today we have a new guest musician. We have Lauri Jones with us. I think you're going to like her. So I want to remind you, too, if you could comment below, feel free. Let's get some communication going, some building of our spiritual community, getting to know each other a little better. Please feel free to comment and say whatever you'd like. Praise, encouragement, snide remarks, whatever. Feel free to put it below. And you know what's amazing is that when you share, somehow in this mysterious universe of the internet, it boosts the search engines or whatever, and we get our message out there to more people. So help us reach more people, bringing global spiritual enlightenment, which is our vision for our ministry. So anyway, thanks for being with us. Today we're going to talk about closing the door on the past. So we'll say more about that in just a little while. Let's do some singing now with Lauri Jones. I invite you to stand where you are and sing, God is My Source.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Lauri Jones, welcome and thank you. That was a beautiful song. We are live here at the Unity Center of New York City on 58th Street. I'm Flo, and I hope you all are having a beautiful morning. I certainly am, and I'm very happy to be here with you. So if you are watching us right now, you're probably using either Facebook or YouTube, and I do want to let you know that we have a lot of videos up on Facebook for you to watch. So if you are able to catch us live, that's amazing. But if not, don't worry, because those videos are not going anywhere. We have videos of every week's service and message. We also have inspirational videos and guided meditation videos guided by Justin Epstein himself. You can also find those videos on YouTube, and the great thing about YouTube is you can press that little subscribe button and you can get notified whenever new videos are uploaded, so you can catch them whenever is a convenient time for you. You can also find us on our website. That's unitynyc.com, and that's where you can keep up with everything that's happening here at the Unity Center. You can subscribe to our weekly newsletter, which has weekly updates, and you can make a secure donation if you'd like. So I do want to reiterate, please feel free to like and comment, interact with each other while these streamings are happening. We love to hear from you, and we love having communication between our spiritual community that is right now virtual, so please do so. And without further ado, it is time for our prosperity celebration with Justin Epstein.
Thank you, Flo. Now's the time where we acknowledge Spirit as our source. And Jesus taught, as we give, we receive. In some amazing way, in every area of our life, as we give, we receive. Isn't it true? It's true in relationships. It's true in health, what we give to our body, in nutrition and exercise, or what we don't give to it affects our health. It's true in work. How much we put out, the quality of what we put out, we get back. It's true in finances. When we are generous financially, we open out a way for a greater flow in every area of our life. We want to take a moment now to just acknowledge Spirit as our source of all our good in every area of our life. And your support of our ministry is very much appreciated. Thank you. We know that you can give in many different areas, and that you probably do give to a lot of different places. And we appreciate that this ministry means something to you, and that what we're doing every week to encourage and inspire people is something you'd like to see continue and to continue to grow and reach more and more people. So thanks for supporting what we're doing and what we're all about. So let's take a moment to bless our gifts today by knowing that divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen. In just a moment, we're going to have a guided meditation. Unity is unique in that we believe that God is not only in everyone, but is expressing as everyone. God is in us, not like a raisin in a bun, but like a wave in the ocean. You're an expression of the ocean of spirit. And so through a guided meditation, what we're doing is we're quieting the busy mind, quieting the restless heart, and we're tuning in to that reality of the ocean that's expressing in and as us. So we like to lead into that guided meditation with a little bit of a repetitive song. And in a moment, John Stringer's going to lead us in the face of God. Now, as you sing that song, recognize that as an expression of God, you are the face of God. Other people are the face of God. Now, that face may take many different forms, right? It does. But that's how the saints and sages see everybody, as the face of God. It's easy when you see a loving, kind person. What about when it's someone who's been mean to you or worse? Can we see that person as the face of God? So let's allow this song to help lead us into a place of silence within. So let's do some singing now.
You are the face of God. Invite you to sing along. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of peace. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of peace. One more time. You are the face of peace. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of peace. Love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You are my family. You are the face of love. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love.
Thank you, John. Let's go ahead now and get still and quiet. Begin to tune in to that spirit of love that is the essence of our nature. Let's take a nice, long, cleansing, deep breath. And as you exhale, think of letting go of tensions held in the body. Letting your body relax. We're going to that inner place. The Old Testament calls it the secret place of the Most High. It's not a mountaintop. It's not a temple. It's not a church. At least not one made with hands. It is the temple of your own soul. Getting still and connecting with that presence. So let's relax the body, consciously letting go, becoming aware of your feet, and just send the thought, relax, relax. Become aware of your calves. Relax, relax. Send that thought. And notice how your body listens. Moving up behind the knees. Sometimes we carry emotions, stress behind the knees. Relax, relax. Relaxing the thighs, relaxing the hips. Allow your abdomen and stomach to relax. Let that part of your body, let it go. No need to hold that in during this meditation time. Relax your hands, your forearms, your shoulders, your chest, your back. And relaxing your neck, the front, the back, and the sides. What the heck? Let's relax our face. Keep on moving up there. Relax your jaw, your cheeks, your eyes, your nose, your forehead, your scalp. From the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet. Letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. Is there still some part of your body hanging on? You might want to just gently tense and release. Relax. Good. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You, not your mind, not your body, not your emotional self, but you, the one in there, consciousness. You are a spiritual being. What does that mean? Well, if the Creator is spirit, invisible, undifferentiated, everywhere present, unlimited, that spirit, as Jesus called it, is expressing as you. So you are a spiritual being. Spirit being you. That's your true self. That's your true nature. Why don't we always feel it? Well, because of our mind, because of our patterns, our thoughts, unhealed stuff, because of all of that. The scriptures tell us that you are created in the image of God and that God is love. So what does that mean? That means you and I are expressions of love. That's who we really are. And let us stir up that gift of love that is inside of us by bringing to mind someone who is either with us still on the planet or someone from the past who we love or loved and who loves us. Is there someone present who you love and who loves you, or someone you knew in the past? Or it could be a pet. Just bring to mind that being and allow that love to be stirred up within your heart. Feel it welling up within you. Maybe you remember a special moment with that loved one where you laughed or you hugged or you cried or you shared a smile, whatever it might be. That brings a smile to your face, love to your heart. And this love that you're feeling is sacred, it's special. It is a little bit of the love that you are. It's a little bit of expression of the love that flows from the source of all love, through that loved one, through that being, through and as you. And it's inexhaustible. Imagine living all the time in that well-being of love. So we bless that loved one wherever they are, if they're still on this planet or if they've moved into the other dimension. We send them love and light. We send that love in our hearts to that person or to that pet. And now we bring to mind other friends and family members. We acknowledge that each one is the image of love. That's their true self, true nature. We acknowledge all those on the Unity prayer list who have sent prayer requests to the Unity Center. The same truth for them. And we know this truth for every person on the planet. Each one, a spiritual being created in the image of love, whether they're behaving that way or not. That's not what we're knowing right now. We're knowing the reality about them, the truth about them. Not the disguise, but the truth. And we send love and light to all people everywhere. In fact, I invite you now to do something a little different. I usually do this during the week, but not usually on Sundays too often, is to rub the palms of your hands together. We're going to send love and light to all people everywhere. So let us bring our mind back to where we are, the room where we're sitting, becoming more present in the body. And we're going to rub the palms of the hands together. And we're going to hold the palms up, and we're going to chant that wonderful word Om, which is also the same meaning as Amen. I'm going to do that 3 times and feel the energy flowing through you, going out to all the world. Ready? Peace. Amen.
So many years, so many seasons, following many a muse. Every venture coming and going, as I'm pulled toward deeper truth. The hurting, the crying, the stumbling and trying, all part of a greater good. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all the tattered pieces, and what falls away reveals the essence of me. Every step now, every decision is rooted by Spirit in me. Embracing this path now ever more fully, drawing to it what I need. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all the tattered pieces, and what falls away reveals the essence of me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The essence of me. lying, all the stumbling and trying, it's all part of a greater good, yeah. And what falls away brings me closer to what I'm meant to be. What falls away is lifting me higher, up where I can see. With a kiss goodbye, I let go of all those pieces. And what falls away reveals the essence, the sweet, sweet essence of me. The essence of me. Let the rest fall away to the essence, to the essence, oh, the essence.
Closing the door on the past. Well, we don't want to close the door on the entire past, do we? No. No, it's nice to relive happy moments, isn't it? To go back and think about times with a loved one or something we did that was special. To remember that, I think that's a great thing. So you hear a lot about living in the moment and being here in the now, and I agree with that. And we can use the present moment to remember something in the past that was helpful or inspiring. It's also helpful to remember a time when you were successful at something. Let's say you've got to give a sales talk or a presentation or meet with someone in an uncomfortable conversation you've got to have, or any other thing. Maybe you're learning something new, taking classes, going on a date. Maybe it's been years since you've been on a date. For many, it's been at least about a year, almost a year and a half. So you can always go back and think about when you were successful in that experience. And that can give you confidence to move into this somewhat new experience with a sense of confidence. So no, we don't want to shut the door entirely on everything in the past. Psychology also talks about the benefit of savoring, looking through a photo album, looking at things that give you memories that you can savor. I mean, one of the joys of going on a vacation or going on a trip is not only the experience itself, but isn't it also when you come back home and you share it with people? You tell people about it. Yeah, that's part of the enjoyment of it. So yes, we want to live in the moment, and you can live your moment fully sometimes by savoring the past, remembering something pleasant from the past, boosting yourself with confidence by remembering success in the past. Those are all very, very powerful things that we can do. And when you hear the title, Closing the Door on the Past, we tend to think about something unpleasant, right? Something we would rather forget, something that was unpleasant. I mean, that is, some people carry that around with them a lot. They let it control their thinking. They return to that experience. Oh, I don't know why I made that decision. That decision was very destructive to my life. I spent all that time on that thing and it didn't work out. That could be a lot of things, couldn't it? It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be any number of things. And so they poison their mind by reliving that and thinking about it a lot. And that's no small thing. And, you know, a friend could say, well, just stop thinking about that. Just quit thinking about it. Easier said than done, especially if it's taken root in you, right? If it's really something inside that you are still carrying around. And I could talk about why it's harmful to do that, why relive something from the past when now is the only time there is, right? Einstein, there's only now. And even people who like to talk about past life stuff, some of them say that in a multi-dimensional world, all the past lives are happening right now. I don't understand that, don't get it, but the point is now, living in the now, and yet people are going back in their minds to the past. Regrets. If only I had done this or that, or what could I have done differently, or why didn't I do it this way, or I'm so sorry about thing that happened. A lot of people suffer with that. They experience anguish over what happened in the past. And as we know, there's nothing we can do about what happened back then except learn from it and move on. Reliving it's not going to change it, is it? It's not going to change it. It's only going to make the present a little bit uncomfortable for us. So, yeah, there's benefit to changing how we think about that and dealing with it when it comes up again and we're so tempted to think about it, right? What is that in human nature that likes to make itself unhappy? Huh? What is that? Things are going along well. Maybe you're succeeding in your work or in your relationship, and then all of a sudden, that memory comes up. Something triggered the memory. Maybe you saw someone driving down a car in a car that you used to have when you were married to so-and-so, and now it triggered it out. Oh my God, that relationship that I was in, and it didn't work out, and it was divorce. See, that's what happens. See, it's not just one thing that happened in the past either. Here's the bad news. The bad news is we've got to close the door on the past every single day. Yeah. We've got to close the door every single day. It's not just one experience. It's not just some big thing that happened, a divorce, a bankruptcy, some kind of embarrassment. It's not just one thing that happened way back there that if we could just change our thinking about, then it'll be over and done with. No. What happens is we carry a lot of stuff from the past inside of us all the time. And we could deal with it the way I think a lot of, for example, Michael Jordan, arguably one of the greatest athletes of all time. He would play a basketball game, and when it was over, he would evaluate it, think about what he did well, and think about where he could improve, what he needs to practice, work on more. And he'd spend about 10 minutes doing that. And then when he was done, he'd move on. He'd move on. Now, I'm not saying we can do that with some of these big things, but there are a lot of little things in our life that we probably could do that with. You know, just learn from it and move on. That's the point, isn't it? And we are carrying a bundle of emotions that are buried inside of us that we've never dealt with. You see, that's what I mean by we deal with the past every day and don't even know it. Things trigger us and make us feel emotions, and we don't realize that it's connected with the past. Because that's what the mind is always doing, isn't it? It's always trying to heal itself. It's always trying to expunge the stuff that we didn't like, that we resisted, that we tried to push away. We didn't want to feel the anger. We didn't want to feel the sadness. We didn't want to feel the jealousy. Oh, I'm too spiritual to feel jealous. I don't feel envy, I don't feel angry. I don't feel lust. I've grown beyond that. Oh, really? Really? We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And part of that human experience is stuff comes in from the outside into our senses. Somebody says something, somebody does something, and it triggers our stuff that we're carrying inside. Michael Singer uses an illustration of how the past can infringe on the present with, say, for instance, you're driving in a certain part of town. Let's just say 34th and 7th Avenue here in New York City. You're at a intersection, and all of a sudden you're about to go through the intersection. A car comes flying through that intersection. You almost get hit. You get very frightened. It's upsetting, and then you continue on your way. Well, what so often happens with people is something happens like that, and then you say, hey, let's go on down to Macy's. I'll drive. We'll drive down 34th Street. Oh no, I don't drive anywhere near 34th Street. And no, I don't go anywhere near Macy's. Because of something that happened one time. That's kind of silly, isn't it? But it happens a lot. It happens a lot because we carry stuff inside that we haven't really let move through us. So when we talk about closing door on the past, it's a moment-to-moment letting go. See, therapists, which is good, if someone goes to a therapist, any kind of personal development is good. It's more than 99% of the population is doing to enhance and unfold themselves, probably. So whatever we're doing to help grow is fantastic. And a therapist, oftentimes what they're doing is they're trying to help the client feel comfortable accessing those buried, repressed, suppressed emotions. See, that's Freudian stuff, right? We've suppressed this stuff. And therapists help people get comfortable so that they're willing to release the stuff that's buried. If we don't release the stuff that's buried, what happens? It comes out anyway, often in the most inconvenient time possible, right? You left the cap off the toothpaste again. I want a divorce. We get these ridiculous responses because of a buildup of stuff. And that really has nothing to do with it. It could be Jesus Christ could be spending the night over your house and he left the cap off the toothpaste. But we're not seeing Jesus Christ in the moment. We're seeing that guy we lived with for a couple of years who never, always left the cap on, and all the other problems we had with him that build up inside, or her, or whatever. And so now Jesus Christ comes along, leaves the cap off the toothpaste. I didn't know he brushed his teeth, and I didn't know he needed to. And all of a sudden, comes out. We carry it with us. And if it's really painful, it's leaking out on our relationships. It's leaking out in every area of our life. If we were children and we never got a chance to talk, Dad was always shutting us up. Children are to be seen and not heard. And we want to say something and Daddy shuts us up, or Mommy or whoever. So then we grow up as adults, and now if someone tries to shut us up or disagrees with us, we're going to go overboard expressing our opinion. We're going to need to be right no matter what. The stuff comes out. And if we keep burying it, guess what? As one psychologist said it, it's like we carry an inner trash compactor around with us and we don't take the trash out. What happens when that happens? It starts to stink. It starts to leak. It starts to overflow. It is not pretty. So yes, we want to let the stuff out. Now what if you say, well, Justin, I've been working on myself a long time. I have a library full of spiritual and personal development books. I've been to lectures, why I saw winged iron person. whatever, right? I've worked through my stuff. I'm on to higher things, Justin. I'm now working to manifest stuff right out of the ethers. That's right, right out. I don't need to treasure map. I don't need to work. I'm just going to manifest it. I moved on. Well, guess what? If you ever get upset about stuff that happens that you have no control over, then you've got stuff still, right? It's raining outside. Oh no, we were going to go hiking. We were going to go golfing. We had a picnic plan. You have no control over the weather. Somebody says something to you in a certain tone and you start to feel hurt by it. Guess what? It's not because of that person. It's because you're carrying stuff from the past that builds up, and someone else used that tone in the past. You had that same reaction, and now this person is starting to trigger it. Unhealed stuff. It happens in all areas of our life. And unless we deal with healing that stuff, it's going to keep impacting us. There's no way around it. We can meditate, which I recommend. Meditation helps us develop that observer state, helps us tune into the true nature, our true self. But what about the rest of the day? You meditate for an hour? What about all the stuff that comes up during the day? That's our spiritual practice too. Yes. It's not just I meditated, so now I am holy. And if I act unholy the rest of the time, then that's not important because I meditated. No. All that stuff that happens during the day, that's our spiritual practice also. So if something in the outer triggers our feelings and we can't do anything about it, like somebody saying something to us that makes us feel anger or sadness, you can't do anything about that. I mean, you could probably have a conversation with a person, but here's the thing, let's go deeper. The sages and saints tell us that we are spiritual beings and our true nature is love and joy and peace and happiness. That's who we really are. That there is a river of joy flowing inside of you all the time. You are that. It's not something you get. Again, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. We're not human beings trying to become spiritual. You are spiritual. You are spirit. You are consciousness, right? So if I'm all that stuff, if I'm joy and peace and love and all that good stuff, why don't I feel it all the time? You do feel it though, at times, don't you? Anytime something triggers a feeling of love and joy or happiness inside of you, you're experiencing your true nature. Oh no, the ice cream made me happy. No, the ice cream didn't make you happy. Not everyone likes ice cream. I can't believe it, but that's what I hear. Not everyone likes ice cream. The ice cream make you feel happy and make someone else miserable, right? It's not the outer stuff. It just, what happens is the outer stuff triggers the joy that's always inside of us. See, that's the reality. So think about your highest moments in life. What are they? Your peak experiences. Can you remember a peak experience? Maybe the birth of a child, maybe you got married, maybe you got divorced. What was a peak experience for you? Maybe you won a certain award, maybe you won something. That is evidence of the joy that's inside of you. Why don't we feel that all the time? Here's why. As the sages tell us, because we're blocking it. That's right. We're blocking it. I'm not blocking it. Yes, you are blocking it. If you're not feeling joy and love and peace no matter what goes on around you, then you're blocking it. I'm blocking it. That's what the sages tell us. Jesus said, I've come that my joy might be in you and that your joy might be full. The man was being crucified on a cross and saying, it's okay. You're forgiven. It's okay. I have no problem. He was centered in joy and love no matter what. It was painful. Yeah, his body was suffering, but his spirit was in love. That's an example. So if we're not in that state all the time, it's not because there's anything wrong with us, other than we're blocking. We're holding the past to us because we have resisted emotions that came from experiences that we had, that we were afraid to have, and we suppressed it. Same is true for good stuff too. We clung to that. Oh, I want that feeling again. So then we spend our life trying to create that feeling again. How long do those feelings last? Not very long. If you look at your life, how many moments have you had peak experiences? Probably not that often. So what are we seeking here? We're talking about living continuously in a flow of love and light and joy. Our true nature. That's heaven, ladies and gentlemen. It's not, I believe this, and now God is going to greet me when I die and take me in a chariot up to a beautiful place where they're singing all our favorite hits. No. That's not heaven. Heaven is, as the sages tell us, living in that divine flow all the time. And so here's the thing. We're blocking it, okay? Hopefully I've convinced you of that now. We're blocking it. And what happens is stuff happens in the outer world, and it's going to happen, isn't it? When we're living in the world, which we are, even if you don't live in the world, even if you go live in an ashram. By the way, I've lived at ashrams. You may know that already. I've lived in spiritual communities. They had just as many things going on there as anywhere else. It was not, you're hiding away from life. No, you're not actually. You're actually bunched up with a group of other people who have problems also. You're rubbing each other's stuff. It's amazing how much can come up in those situations. So whatever you're doing, relationships, work, whatever you're involved in, it's going to hit your stuff that you're carrying. Stuff that you built up from the past, right? Therapy wants you to get in touch with it. And that's good. I remember working with a therapist to deal with something that happened with my mom, and there was a moment where sadness was coming up, and she was like, guided me gently, okay, so let's, what's coming up for you? Well, I'm feeling sad about that, or feeling angry, and she had me, all right, well, after a few minutes of that, she's like, okay, that's enough. That's enough for today, for feeling that. Let's move on to something else. So she didn't want me to drown in all that emotion. So that's what a therapist can help people do, is to be open to heal that stuff that we've been carrying around inside of us. Well, so therapy can be good. However, perhaps the highest way that we can heal and deal with this stuff. I mean, some are into going back and trying to relive what happened, go back and think about it, journal about it, relive it. You know, there are therapies that do that, and that can be very helpful. I know people who have been blessed by that. I've been helped by some journaling and working with some of that myself. However, there is perhaps a higher way. This is something that every one of us can do every moment. And that is, and it's simple. It's simple. I never wanted to do a lot of that stuff. I was always seeking some way that was easier. Why did I need to go through all that? God created me, God is in me, expressing as me. Why do I need to dig up stuff from the past to be healed? You don't. You don't. Here's what you do. When feelings get triggered inside of you, no matter what it is, our tendency is to then, we get uncomfortable and we want to fix it. We want to change that person, right? Well, if she would just speak to me with respect, then this would be okay. Or if he would just let me know when he's coming home from work so I can have dinner ready, or whatever it is. Who knows what it is? We want to change the outer. If I could only have the job, the dream job where I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing, then I'll be happy. Right? We try to fix the outer. I'm not saying there's not a place for that. But we're going very deep right now. We're talking about the highest way to be free from our past and to get in touch with heaven. Kingdom at hand, as he said. And that is, instead of doing that, when you feel uncomfortable, when something happens in the outer world, somebody says something, somebody does something, and you feel uncomfortable, and the tendency is to try to fix it, try to change it, try to make that person over so you don't feel the way you feel. If only he would treat me or do what he's promised to do or whatever, then I would be happy. Then I would be okay. Instead of going there, I mean, you might have to have a conversation or whatever for practical purposes, but we're talking about you psychologically, emotionally, spiritually. It's all the same stuff. Instead of doing that, you relax, meaning you don't try to change anything. You don't try to fix anything. Instead, you let the emotion flow through you. And you stay in that observer's place. You stay in that, however you want to call it, the seat of self, as the Buddhists call it, the watcher state, the witness state, where you let those emotions flow through you. In Zen, they call it walking the razor's edge. Because it's not fun. It's not fun. But we want to get to the place to where we can actually enjoy observing how our humanness is reacting, because we're not our humanness, right? You're not your mind, you're not your body, you're not your personality, you are consciousness, you are spirit, you're a spiritual being, the image of God. So ultimately we get to that place where we can observe ourselves reacting like a little brat. Or we observe ourselves feeling sad, feeling jealous, feeling anxious, feeling angry, feeling fearful. But it's not because of the outer thing. We're carrying it with us. We got a whole blockage. If we were totally free of all that stuff, nothing would bother us. Would it? No. Wouldn't bother us at all. We'd be full. We'd be whole. We'd be complete. We'd be happy. Nothing could bother us. We'd laugh at whatever happened. Be like Jesus. Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. That's how we would be. That's where we're headed. So when I say relax, it means don't wrestle with it. Don't go into your head and go, yeah, he shouldn't talk to me like that. How dare he or she or whatever. Relax. Relax. Meaning, don't give it your energy. Don't give it your attention. Just like a dream. When you have a bad dream, you wake up and you go, let me tell you about this dream. Or you just say, oh, well, that was weird. Or that was interesting. You don't make a big deal out of it. Well, it may be that all the thoughts and feelings that we're having during the day are like the dream. It's our mind trying to heal us from that stuff. And we think, well, no, it isn't. It's that person who said what he said to me that made me angry. It's his fault. Guess what? It isn't. It's if we were centered in love and joy and peace and all that good stuff that we really are, what he said to us would be comical. We'd be like, all right, you know. We do it in movies, don't we? We watch movies, we're like, yeah, wow, we're all enthralled in that. We don't take it personally, do we? No, because it's a movie. Guess what? All this stuff that's happening in our lives, our feelings about it, it's not about them or that. It's about what's in us. Every time we allow ourselves to feel what's flowing through us without resisting it, without trying to change the outer world. Because look, if you try to change the outer world, guess what? It doesn't solve the problem. The problem is it's still inside of you. It's just going to come up again in a different way. You get that? Oh, I'm so lonely. I feel lonely. I need a partner. I need a spouse. I need a husband. I need a wife. I need a girlfriend. I need a boyfriend. And you get busy going out looking for that person. Doesn't solve the root of the problem. What happens if that person dies? What if they run off with somebody? What if they change their mind? What if? People spend years insecure because they are trying to solve a deep issue, which is we're blocking who we really are with an outer thing. And so there are people who live their whole lives married, the person dies, they're lonely, they get a husband or a wife, and now they're not lonely, and guess what? That person dies eventually, and then they're lonely again. They didn't solve the problem. Yeah. So we're here seeking to solve the deeper issue. And every time something comes in from the outer and touches our stuff, let's resolve, instead of trying to change it, instead of that being our first response, instead, let's relax, allow yourself to feel it, witness it. Don't jump into it with your mind. Don't try to, well, you shouldn't say it to me. I just had something the other day. I played in a golf tournament not long ago, and now that people are vaccinated, they put us in carts with people, and I got paired with somebody I didn't know. Fine, that's fun, that's part of doing it. And about the third hole or so into the round, it's a tournament round, right? We're competing against each other, basically, and a whole field of people. About the third hole in, I'm driving the cart, and he has a little bit of a vision issue, apparently. That's why I switched with him. I said, okay, I'll drive. So we're on the third hole, and we both hit our shots, and as I'm driving along the fairway is the short grass where you're supposed to hit the ball. We're driving outside the fairway. There's little signs saying, don't drive on the fairway. It's just that hole. Don't drive on the fairway. Cart's over there. So I'm doing that. I'm staying in the rough off the fairway. And all of a sudden, this man who I just met 3 holes ago, so I'm losing the sight of my ball. I'm losing the sight of my ball. Go over there to where my ball is. Everybody else is driving on the fairway. Woo! Wow. I thought we were all adults in the cart here playing golf, right? Fortunately, because I dedicate myself to practicing what we're talking about here, I was able to not react. I mean, that could have become a fight, really. You think about it, that could have become a fight. What are you talking to me about? Don't you see the sign? Sign says don't drive in the fairway. Talk to me like that. Go get your own ball. You know, it could have gone any number of ways. I just responded calmly. I said, I stopped the cart and I said, I'll tell you what, I'll let you drive the cart over to your ball if you want to do that. And I'll get out. So I got out and I walked. I wasn't going to break the rules because he wanted me to break the rules. I wasn't going to break the rules because everybody else was breaking the rules. I was the one driving the cart. Guess who was going to hear from the authorities? We're a guest at this country club for this tournament. Guess if someone caught us driving on the fairway, guess who would get it? It would be the driver, wouldn't it? Oh, but he wanted me to drive on the fairway. No, that's no excuse. I was driving. So I let him take the cart. And it worked out fine. He came back, I got in the cart, I started to drive again. No problem. No problem. A hole later or two, he said, I didn't mean to talk like that. And then he went in to explain some physical issues he has with walking and so on and so on. And I said, okay, now that I know that, I don't mind breaking some of these rules if it's going to help you get to your ball better. If I'd have reacted because I got stuff in there, someone who talked to me in that tone in the past, and I react to that, right? Isn't that what happens? We've built up anger and stuff from people who've talked to us like that in the past. And how dare somebody talk to me like that now? You know, people who've been disrespected in the past, they interpreted people's behavior as disrespecting them. Then if they hear anybody's tone of disrespect, what happens? All that stuff comes up. That's why you read about people who are arguing about something. I mean, we see it in the news, don't we? Somebody having an argument, guy goes out, gets a gun. It's not about that argument. It's about a buildup of anger from the past. It's a buildup of beliefs from the past. And it all comes out. So, as you and I, and hey, that was a stranger, right? This is somebody I just met. Let's face it, it's easier to do it with a stranger than it is with the people you know the best. Isn't it? It's easy. That's why my mom used to preach to me when she was probably trying to control me or really had made a good point. Justin, charity starts in the home. Charity starts in the home. If she thought I was not treating her the way I should treat her, she used that good old Jewish guilt. Charity starts in the home. And she was right. Charity starts in the home. It's the people we're close to where the real practice comes in. The people who know us the best, the people we spend the most time with, the people that we call our family, our friends. That's when our stuff gets pushed. And that's where we can also practice this. Practice it on the little things, though. Practice it in little things. You know, you're about to get on a subway train and someone jumps in front of you. Or you're driving down the highway and someone is going really slowly or cuts you off. Or it's raining. You had plans this weekend. It's raining. Practice with that. Notice your feelings. Relax around it. And then as you do that with little things, guess what? The bigger things become easier and easier and easier. And over time, we become freer and freer and freer. And you're able to be in charge of yourself and undisturbed more and more and more with the bigger and bigger things. You know why? Because you're not afraid of what's inside of you. You know why? You're not afraid of feeling any kind of emotion because you've been doing it so much. And every time you give a little bit of awareness to that emotion, to whatever's stirred up inside of you, healing is happening. Healing is happening. This is a very important and very high practice, probably the highest spiritual practice we can do. Really, it's practicing awareness. It's practicing consciousness. It's not getting sucked into all that stuff, but being present to it and letting it flow through us so that we can truly experience our unity with Spirit, with Source, that's available to us. And we find that we get happier and freer as time goes on. And eventually, as the sages tell us, nothing's going to bother us. Boy, as Yogananda said, peace amidst the crash of breaking worlds. Sometimes it feels that way, doesn't it? Crash of breaking worlds. Well, we can handle it with these tools. Let's get still now. Thank you, Father, Mother God, for your presence. We acknowledge that each and every moment is sacred. Each and every moment could be our last breath. We don't know. It has been for many people. They didn't know it was their last breath. And we're happy to unfold the reality of who we are. Beings of joy, beings of love, beings of light. And we're happy to be present to that unhealed stuff as it comes up. To watch it, to feel it, to let it move through us. Thank you for reminding us about this. And thank you for giving us the strength to do what is ours to do. And so it is. Amen. Would you please join me in saying the prayer for protection? The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you for joining us today at the Unity Center for our live stream broadcast. I'm Justin Epstein, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Until then, namaste.